Alright, my brother, wait a minute, my older brother from another mother has posted a good video, Pastor Dowell, and I've got to do a video response. It's on gold and silver, and I got some good things to say, and, you know, I guess add or whatever, if you will. And he mentions, one of the first things, he said regarding precious metals, not to listen to the media. It's all a bunch of noise. Just nonsense. You know, yeah, I'll strongly agree to that. And for example, I wrote notes of, I basically stopped his video, thought of things, wrote some little notes down to make this easier to just do a quick response. So, this congressman, what was his name? Anthony Weiner, or Weiner, whatever. This is the guy that resigned over texting nude photos, was bad-mouthing Glenn Beck since Glenn was promoting Gold Line, I think it was Gold Line. The price was $1,000 when this stupid congressman called out Glenn Beck and said that he was doing something wrong, misleading people, and was only talking about gold and whatnot since Gold Line was paying him as a sponsor. Now here's a bozo that is sending nude photos of himself to women other than his wife, trying to act like he knows something about some subject in which he knows absolutely nothing about. This man should actually know something about gold and silver, since he is or was a congressman, for God's sakes, and the Constitution specifically states that no state shall use anything other than gold or silver coin as currency. I bet he wouldn't even know that that's in the Constitution, much less, or have the audacity to even, you know, and he has the audacity to tell Glenn Beck that he's only trying to take advantage of people because, you know, gold's at an all-time high at $1,000. In his mind, of course, it's probably going to crash. That was $600 an ounce ago, bozo, Weiner, whatever the hell your name is. It's now $1,600, and you are not paying $1,600 if you want one of those coins that Pastor Dowell shows, little buffalo on one side, Indian head on the other side. You're going to spend probably minimal of a $50 to maybe $80 premium to get that coin. So, the mainstream media talking heads are the same way, right? This guy failed epically as gold is now at $1,600. The mainstream media is the same way. They read a script and look into the camera as if they somehow are some kind of authority source, and you must believe them since they're on TV after all. They're the news guy. Hey, I'm telling you guys what's going on. You're only reading a script. You're reading a story. Literally, a fairy tale, a story, most of the time. Another thing he says, Pastor Dowell, he says that anyone who speaks against the majority of the people, or the talking heads, or the experts, right? These guys claim to be experts, such as the talking heads on TV, Federal Reserve, Treasury, President, Congress, all these people. Anybody who speaks against what they say, the opposite of what they're telling us, are actually the ones you need to be listening to. I couldn't agree with that more. And if people have been following me for over a year now, you would also agree. You know, I was the one telling you. I got the video up right now. It's still there. Gold and silver, or maybe it was just silver prices to explode. And it was either 2 to 3 years max, or I think it was 1 to 2 years max was the title of it. I did this over, I think, a year ago or so. Roughly. So, 1 to 2 years, we're in that 1 year mark. And the price when I did the video, I don't even know what it was. Probably $18, $20 maybe. I don't even remember right now. It was that long ago. Would you say jumping to $50? Yeah, it settled down to 35, and so it's back up to 40 again, right? That's a pretty big explosion in a year's time or so. Would you not agree? I said that. I said I was the guy against the mainstream, against what our own Federal Reserve Chairman is saying, against what the Treasury says, against people like Anthony Weiner, former Congress member Bozo. And that's probably why the average person who may find my channel or stumble onto my channel has a hard time believing. Who the hell are you, Joe? Realist News? It's not even a real name. It's not even a real news company. You're an IT guy? What the hell do you know about this? You're not an expert. I'm going to listen to a congressman, the Federal Reserve chairman, in the Treasury, and this guy and that guy and that guy, long before I listen to you. You're just some idiot behind a computer. What? My brain can't even fathom why I would even spend 2 seconds here. That's because your brain has been brainwashed, you've been lied to, and because everybody perpetuates the lie, you continue believing the lie just like everybody else. And speaking of how you stumbled upon my videos maybe one day and then you just wrote it off, shook your head and left, never to come back, or maybe you did if you woke up. There's a little saying I like to give every now and then. I can't remember who gets credit for this, but it's fantastic. Every now and then, somebody will eventually trip and stumble over the truth. And I will stand there and watch to see what they do next. They pick themselves up, they brush themselves off, and continue walking as if nothing ever happened. Powerful little saying right there, isn't it? And it's so true. So, let's see. Right, so if these same people, which I'm nobody, right, compared to them, these guys have, 6-figure incomes every year, millionaire type incomes. They're on TV, Federal Reserve, he's doing an interview. These guys are experts. But if they've lied to you 100 times in a row now, so to speak, would you be, and why would you be, actually, foolish enough to think that the 101st time, this will be the time that they tell the truth? And even though you've been preaching all these things and talking about all these things, and they have been taking place, actually, you've been warning about them when everyone else wasn't even a warning. We didn't even know about it, and these guys were laughing at you on TV, basically, right? It's never happened. Now it's happening. So do I have credibility yet? Do you want to listen to me yet? Nah, I'll just turn on the news. I still trust them. I can't believe you. You're just some idiot behind a computer. Sorry. Fine. Leave. I don't care. That's why I had to leave Facebook. If nobody's listening, I might as well go open a box up and talk inside the box, and, when people are a mile away that need to hear me. What good's that going to do? So I closed down Facebook. Get that nonsense out of my face. And I went to YouTube, strictly. And then a strange thing happened. I didn't go around messaging people, hey, look at my video. Do you agree with this? Hey, look at this happened today. Hey, you want to know about this? No. I just started uploading videos. And somehow, miraculously, through the power of the internet, and the way it works on YouTube, you search for things, there are people searching for the truth, using the internet to find something that they know they can't find anywhere else. Kind of like Pastor Dowell and his religion. People trying to find something in all these other religions that they can't find. And when they stumble upon him, his religion, his views, they found the truth. And those are the people, in my example, who stumbled over the truth, walked upright, brushed themselves off, and didn't continue on walking as if nothing happened. Oh my God, I just found something here. And it was a place like Pastor Dowell's in his teaching. So I had to throw that in there because that's actually applies. Very, very true. So another thing Pastor says is that what Pastor is at, it's basically at 3 minutes and 17 seconds in his video. What Pastor is saying has to do with people who claim things like, you can't eat gold, you can't eat silver. Why stack all that gold and silver? You can't do that, whatever. No, you sure can't. These people are actually 100% right. You cannot eat gold and silver. You can't. But you can buy a ton of food that you can eat, assets that you can and will use, and very much needed items that are very expensive in paper dollars. And with all the fire sale price, they will all be able to be had by you at fire sale prices, cheaper than ever, if you compare them with gold and silver prices in comparison, right? So, 1 silver coin bought you what? A whole month's supply of food? For your family? Yeah. Man, silver's $400, whatever, $500? Yeah. one silver coin bought me today, or during the big collapse that's coming, huge amount of food. Man, I just spent, 400, it'd probably be more than that at the grocery store during this time frame, but, you get the point. So, I gotta move on. So, he also he shows this 100-ounce bar that he bought for $1,200 an ounce, right? Or 100, basically it's $12 an ounce is what he's saying. I bought a 100-ounce bar for around $1,200. That would equal $12 an ounce. I've mentioned before, I bought some Silver Eagles at $10 an ounce, but I did have to pay the premium, which ended up being like $2 or something over spot. So it was about $12 for the Eagles. So when silver is $100 and there's a $20 premium to get Silver Eagles, $12 is all I paid total for the coin. I just got back $120. Is what that's going to equate to. Imagine when it's $300, $400, whatever. I got coins for $12 a piece. I paid $2 for the premium. The entire coin cost me $12 total, and I just got back hundreds of dollars for this coin. And again, this wasn't just for, I want to get rich, I want to get rich. This was simply, I want to protect my family from what's coming. No type of financial motivation here by me to do this. It's just going to automatically become a small fortune for people as this unfolds. Which will be better than just skating by, which was the original plan. And that's not my fault. I'm not making it happen. I'm understanding what's happening and preparing in advance for that Category 5 hurricane to come. I'm packing my bags. I'm leaving, getting out of the way of the hurricane while it blows through and destroys everything. Then I come back and rebuild and have my own money to rebuild, so to speak, right? That kind of situation. Little analogy there. The Category 5 hurricane, not necessarily a hurricane, it's the financial hurricane that's coming and the destruction of the dollar that's coming. So, he bought this bar for $1,200 or $12 an ounce. It is now worth over $4,000, completely correct. As the price of gold and silver soar and continue to soar even higher, especially silver, forget gold, I'm telling you, it's nice to have gold. You won't be disappointed at all owning gold. You'll be very happy. But you'll be really, really, really happy with just silver, because it has already outperformed gold in very recent history here, like the last year. And it will do so again, because that 65-to-1 ratio that it's been for so long, it did go down to 35-to-1 with gold when it was at $49.51 high for forever, I guess this year for silver. And then it went down to 33, 34, 35. It's been hovering around 35. It's now 40 again, right? So we're at like 45-to-1 ratio with gold, or somewhere in that neighborhood, and it's coming back down to 35-to-1, 30-to-1, 25-to-1, 20-to-1, 16-to-1, and probably much better than that, even if it's for a short period of time during the flooding of people frantically trying to get silver and stuff. Could push it easily down 8-to-1, 7-to-1, and boy, would I love to sell at that time. So that's why you want silver over gold. That's the only reason, and it's way more affordable. Would you rather spend $40 right now for one coin this big, or would you rather spend $1,600 plus for one this big that's just colored gold? Well, if there was an argument that, well, gold is the only money and silver has never been money, I would agree with you. Yeah, then you better try to get some gold. But silver has and will be money again, along with gold. So, anyways, if the price of gold and silver soar and continue to soar even higher, especially silver, Pastor Dowell and his community will be sitting on a nice chunk of change to use for his community. He is able to take something that was either purchased by him or given to him as an offering and sit on it for a few years, which he has been doing already. And then as prices absolutely explode, as I said even a year ago, prices to explode 1 to 2 years max. That's already happening, right? So there's another prediction I made, not because I'm some smartass, not because I'm some psychic, or not because I'm some prophet, because I'm not, but because I study these things, study the trends, study the fundamentals of what the hell's going on in the world. Therefore, if XYZ is happening, then I know A, B, and C will be the result. Silver and gold to explode, guaranteed. It's already happening. So once they explode, he can then sell them at 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 8 times, etc. of what he originally got, what the original value of gold and silver were. So, of course, he will get paper fiat currency back, but if you live in this country, You have to use the paper fiat currency that the government has put in place, and there's no way around that. So that's what it's going to be. Fine. Again, he had a $1,200 bar silver. I can sell it today. He didn't, but he could sell it today for $4,000. 4 times the value of that thing. So rather than sell all of his silver right now and still do quite well, by the way, because I don't know what he's got for silver and gold. He shows a few pieces here and there. I know people do give him offerings in silver and gold sometimes. That's fantastic. And as he said, it doesn't mean that, don't feel like you can't give him, an offering. If you felt like giving the guy in his church an offering, well, he only accepts gold and silver. I only have a check, or, like he said, it doesn't matter. He's just making a point. So rather than build 1 to 2 more houses for his community and people in, empty houses that could be moved into, and get more land, which is another thought he's been having lately, he can now buy and build quite a few homes and a lot larger piece of land than he probably first anticipated, because of the simple price exploding in gold and silver while he's sitting on it. So notice how he will use the money and precious metal offerings, both of those offerings, to better his church and his community. People go to his church and many times leave with organic food and vegetables from the garden and the greenhouse. This is a fact. After all, it was created for every one of his brothers and sisters, according to him, and I saw it, and I know it. I wasn't given a show. People who attended his church that don't live in the community, that came in from all over the place, didn't even know that I was going to be there. I met a few people, shook hands, I saw some of your videos, great, it was fantastic. And they didn't know I was going to be there, so it's not like I got some big show. I sat back kind of as an observer, and I'm seeing what my thoughts of a church should be. When you're giving all this damn money to these churches, what are they doing? What are they giving back to you? And in their mind, the only thing they're giving you, we're preaching the Holy Spirit. We're preaching the Holy Spirit. You got your church service, now get the hell out of here. 2 hours, I got stuff to do, get out. Not in those words, but basically, you go there, leave, that's it. I went to the pastors, people went in, they had a big giant lunch together, they're talking, there's tables of groups of people talking and chatting and wanting people to sit with people and have a good time, hey, come sit with us, this and that. And I was invited to sit at another table. I think the pastor was sitting over there too, but I had to help my wife with the kids. They were running all over like crazy, so I just sat where we were at. I'm like, this is what should be happening. Maybe some churches do that. They have a little feast together or something afterwards, but I don't know. I can get off topic on that. That was just, that's what I think church should be. And that's why I haven't gone in so long, and I hated all churches. I hated all religion. It's such stupid nonsense. And then I stumbled over the truth, picked myself up, brushed myself off, but didn't continue walking because old Joe, Realist News, has an open mind and is no sheep, at least not anymore. I was a sheep like everybody else 5-6 years ago. I didn't know anything about this stuff. But I tripped over that truth, woke up, right, brushed myself off, and didn't keep on walking as if nothing happened. I recognized something big just happened. And if that happened, I wonder how many more truths I can stumble over. And rather than fall over them next time, I'd like to find them and point them out before I fall over them. And that's what my process of waking up's been. So anyways, next thing he says, for the country to turn around, our country, we have to start from a clean slate. Everybody has to go. From the president, Congress, whatever, all the way down to the freaking janitor. All the way across. Politics, government, the whole thing has to be cleaned out. He's not talking about, like, let's murder everybody. He just means they just have to go, get out, leave, resign, quit, whatever. We have to fire them, whatever it is. So, honestly, right, Realist News, keeping it real, we all know that's not going to happen. There won't be a clean slate, even though that's the easy answer, and it would fix it. That's not going to happen. And because it's not going to happen, and history pretty much guarantees it won't happen, because history just repeats and repeats and repeats, and it repeats mostly because the mass majority of people allow it to repeat, refuse to believe it will repeat when they're alive, not under my watch, or, that was a past thing, that won't happen again. And those of us who are awake, who are trying to make the change, trying to warn, it's going to happen, it's starting to happen, it's happening, it's collapsed, it's done. Well, that's why history repeats. And those of us who see it make the preparations kind of under the radar for the most part, and we just keep living our lives and hopefully don't have to experience anything near what other people are going to be experiencing in the near future. So since this won't happen, the Roman Empire, aka America, will continue its rapid decline into third world status. By the way, a Webbot forecast from several reports ago is that sometime in the near future, I'm not quite sure when, I don't remember, says that a good amount of resignations will start to be taking place in this country by the people in Congress when they finally come to the realization that they have royally screwed up. The people are more than pissed. We've been lied to, they've lied to us, and they've just been in there as a dog and pony show of themselves to both smoke up their own rear ends. I made it, I'm prestigious, I'm a senator. And remember the lady that grilled the military guy? Yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. Please, I worked very hard to earn the title as senator. Please address me as senator. Yes, senator. And then she began to question him some more. Yes, senator. Yes, senator. Let me tell you something, senator. I will punch your mouth loose. Telling me to call you senator. I will call you scumbag. I will call you idiot. Bozo. I will call you the reason the destruction of America has been taking place. And I will call you the reason why I have been collecting. Well, I used to collect a little bit of gold and silver and have sold the gold because I'm the reasons I told you earlier, and strictly 100% silver. And it's people like you that caused me to do this and are going to be the cause of other people who actually get mad after they've been left with an empty bag. They'll be mad at people like me, and you will gladly use your media to point out that gold and silver hoarders are bad. They're unpatriotic. These are the guys that, it was the arm rate mortgages. No, it wasn't the arm rate mortgages. No, it wasn't that. It was the people who got them. They knew they couldn't afford it, and they got them anyways. No, the people went to an expert, mortgage broker, whatever. Yes, you qualify. Yes, you can make this payment. You'll be able to turn around and sell your house in 2 or 3 years if you want. The way the market's going up, it's a win-win situation. Well, you're the expert. You're the expert. You're the market guru. You've been in the mortgage industry for how long? 20 years? Well, I guess I can afford the house. And then they lied. They didn't even know they were lying. They just did it. Quick cash. I get a huge commission. Get out of my face. Right? So anyways, let's continue here. And another thing he says is that, in Congress, the debt ceiling, all this nonsense. It's laughable. They're talking, as he said, they're talking about saving $2 or $3 trillion. Oh, that sounds good. Over a 10-year period. Oh, not so good. So all we keep hearing, they're trying to work on a plan to save 2.3 or 2 to 3 trillion, maybe $4 trillion in savings. Next news channel. They're trying to work on saving 2 to 3, maybe $4 trillion in the debt savings deal. Right, continue the statement, idiot. Don't stop there. Oh, he stopped there. Let me continue the statement for him. They're trying to do that in a 10-year period. Not next year or the next 2 or 3 years. A 10-year period. And as Pastor said, we just created $2 or $3 trillion in like the last year or two. So what the heck is that going to do in a 10-year period? It's going to do nothing. Incredible. So let me explain how absurd this is. And I'm going off my head. I didn't write this down. I didn't go and do the quick research. I already did a video a long time ago that did do the research. I gave the exact amounts, the exact dates, but I still have that pretty fresh in my head, so bear with me if the numbers aren't precisely right. They'll be very close and very accurate. 1970s, early 70s or so, total national deficit was around $1 trillion. First time in 200 years of American history, being America, it took that long to rack up $1 trillion. From there to the 80s, man, 2 trillion, 3 trillion was on the way. When Bush took office in the year 2000, it was up to 6 trillion. Right? So 200 years, 1971. 10 to 15 years, $2 to $3 trillion. Another 10 to 15 years, 4 or so trillion, $5 trillion, or maybe another 3, 4 trillion, whatever. We're at around $6 trillion when Bush takes office. I'm talking the year 2000. 8-year term, right? 2 terms, whatever. It's now 9-point-something trillion. So in the span of 8 years or so, it's 9-point-something trillion. See how that window is closing? Gap faster, 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 faster. More money, more money, more. or actually, more money, more money, more money, more money. In the amount of time period, just keeps shrinking. No matter what, it keeps shrinking. So, 2008, he's leaving office. Obama, hope and change. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Everyone's cheering, screaming in the background. Yes, we can. He's just telling the people what they want to hear. It's nothing but a fat lie, but you can't blame the people for believing it. You can't blame them. Who is Obama? Nobody knows. Just a one-time term senator, whatever? Yeah. Therefore, in your mind, he hasn't been into politics his whole life. This guy's our guy. We need to vote for him because he's going to bring the change. Oh, actually, no, he's not. Too late. You already voted for him. Too late. Can't get rid of him. Sorry about your luck. He's in there. So, as this process is going, Bush is leaving, Obama stepping in, they pass another deficit hike from $9 trillion to around $11 trillion or something like that. A year later, after Obama is in office, years pass by of his presidency, we need another deficit hike. I reported on this. I reported on this. And we need to go to from 11 to 12 point whatever trillion. I think it was 12.2. Okay. Passed. 30 days later. 30. 30. 1 month later. Oh, I just spit out a little something. I think a burst of truth just came out of my mouth. Sorry about that. 30 days later, we got to raise it again. 14.3 trillion. Current level we're at now. They did that 30 days before they did the last one. That window was like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. And now we've gone basically, simply, you could say, roughly another year, and we're talking about it again. Now, they did it, 1 year went by, and then a month went by, and they did it again. But they also didn't just do like a little bit more trillion. They did, you know, a 2 point something, I think it was 2.4 trillion, whatever it was, increase. That'll get us 2 years. We're, you know, not quite, but we're almost there. We're at that level. We're at the level. And what's on the news again? What's everything being filled with? Our ears. We got to raise the We got to raise the deficit. 14.3 and up. We're looking to do 2 point something, 3. Again, they're just trying to get you past the next elections. Okay, great. Now the Congress will be in for a while. The new president will step in. He'll be in for a while. And then it doesn't matter about the deficit and everything else. If it collapses at that time, it doesn't matter because we all saved our jobs, got reelected again, and now all hell breaks loose. We don't care. But I got news for you. They will care, and they will be resigning in the flocks by the I don't know how many, but a lot will be resigning because they will understand they destroyed the country. Hey, you know, this was a problem before I took, you know, I jumped on ship, so I'm leaving now. I'm resigning. Oh, you're resigning with your fantastic $1 million of bribe money you've got over the years, your huge salary, retirement, and you think the people aren't going to do something to you and just let you, oh, well, he retired. Okay, we'll fix things now. You caused, at that point, a lot of pain and suffering in people's lives. They will not be forgiving. And I'm talking mostly of the people, probably 90-something odd % of those people I'm speaking of that will be chasing these people down, wanting to kill them because they're so upset with their lives being destroyed, everything being lost that they owned, etc. Having, as Gerald Celente says, nothing else left to lose, so they lose it. I have nothing else to lose. I don't care. I'll go murder somebody or whatever. That's what happens when people flip out and stuff like this. So, as the Webbot says, they're going to be dealt with accordingly, and it will be 90+%, I'm telling you right now, of the people who are not willing to listen to me, you, anybody. No, it's nonsense. I don't believe you guys. You're just a bunch of idiots behind a camera in your mom's basement and blah, blah, blah. Okay. But I want to go ahead and thank you now. I know you're leaving, never to come back and watch my video again. I want to thank you now, a little handshake, for doing what you're going to be doing in the near future while I get to sit back and chill. What's that? You're going to be out on the streets. You're going to be one of those statistics out there that went crazy and lost it and was furious and did something that would land you in prison, so you did something and then committed suicide because you couldn't take it anymore. I want to thank you for putting that pressure on the government and enforcing the change to come while I sit back, stacking silver, got my little piece of land, living the nice life, peaceful, simple life, not this high-paying job, high-paced life. I got to have this. No. Complete crap. So, another thing he talks about, China and India at 8 minutes and 10 seconds, he's talking about China and India and, you know, basically our debt. Who wants to buy our debt anymore? China and India are now deciding to go into gold and silver purchasing heavy duty. In 2010, they increased their gold silver holdings massively. Guess what they're doing in 2011? You think they are slowing down the purchases of these precious metals and buying more U.S. paper debt? No. Nope, not on your life, and certainly not on your illusionary American dream that you were taught you'll get to one day. They are very wise in buying the future currency of the world. They know they will have to back their currencies with precious metals soon. We are the laughingstock of the world, we America, just like the Roman Empire as it was phased out of existence, screaming and crying and kicking all the way until nothing was left. Another thing he talks about, he chose that silver bar again, 100 ounce. This is some advice which doesn't have to be followed, but it's just some advice that I would like to give Pastor Dowell and others who are holding those big 100 ounce type of bars or coins, or, well, they don't really make a coin that big, but etc. If you go to a coin dealer or any store, technically speaking, that is capable of buying gold and silver, whether it's a pawn shop, coin dealer, whatever, I believe somewhere around the $10,000 mark, if you go in and do a $10,000 transaction, they have to report it to the government, and then the government's going to know you got a bunch of money for this bar. Why wasn't that on your tax report last year or this year or whatever? So you want to keep that under $10,000. If you go do a transaction at some coin dealer for $9,000, great. Then go to another coin dealer in another town, $9,000. Go to another coin dealer in another town, etc., at $9,000, and stay off the radar, so to speak. Why? Because you won't have to pay any taxes whatsoever on it. If you have a 100 ounce bar and the price of silver, let's be real conservative, $200 an ounce, you're sitting on $20,000 from this 100 ounce bar. That exceeds that $10,000 limit. And no, you're not going to be able to walk in there and say, hey, can you cut this in half for me? I'll give you half of this bar. It's not going to work. So my advice, if anybody right this second is holding 100 ounce bars or even some of the giant 1,000 ounce bars physically in your vault, safe, whatever, get rid of it and take that money and immediately turn around and buy silver eagles or just silver rounds, 1 ounce rounds, or 5 ounce rounds, 5 ounce bars. 10 ounce bars would be okay too, because even a 10 ounce silver at, you know, $200 an ounce, still it's just 2,000 bucks. You're safe. If it's $400 an ounce, that one 10 ounce bar or coin is, you know, 200 ounce times 10. We're talking $200. If it's 400, then again, obviously $400 or $4,000 for that same 10 ounce bar or coin or whatever. That's my advice. I did it myself, and I too have a story similar to Pastor Dowell. When I had one of my silver bars that I sold, the last one that I had, 100 ounce bar, I paid around $1,300 for it. Here you go. Give me my $1,800, or it was real close to $1,800, $1,785 or something that I got back. That, of course, was when silver was around $18 an ounce. So I did that, and then, you know, I just get coins in exchange, basically. And you might even be able to walk into a coin dealer and say, look, I want some of the eagles. I know the eagles, the silver eagles, have a premium. Therefore, if I give you a 100 ounce bar and I want 100 ounces of silver eagles back, I already understand I'm probably gonna have to come up with $100 or something, or whatever, or $200 extra to give to you, kind of thing, because of the premium. And maybe they'll make a deal with you, who knows. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And don't think for 1 second that, even though I just talked about this 10,000 limit and this and that, don't think for 1 second that you won't be able to find a gray market or black market or whatever you want to call it for gold and silver that's off the record, off the books. You come friends, boys, whatever, with some of these coin dealers or some people you meet, whatever it ends up being, Craigslist kind of thing. Listen, silver's $400 an ounce right now. It's crazy. As much silver as you want to sell me, that's $30,000. I got a buyer for $30,000. But because it's off the record, off the books, no receipt, I'm going to give you $350 an ounce. Fine. Or $375 an ounce, whatever it equals, right? Whatever you come to the agreement to. No problem. Check it out. It's real. Okay, here's your silver. $30,000 in cash, whatever it is, fine, great, done. No one knew about it. It's a little black market. It automatically comes under crises. It's going to form by itself without even me telling you this. I wanted to tell you in advance because for the most part, I'm light years ahead of the average bozo person out there who doesn't know anything about this. So, and I'm just trying to, I don't want anything in return. I don't want anyone to do anything for me. I'm glad I have people listening because I know at least I'm not wasting my time. If I was wasting my time, I wouldn't be here doing a video right now. I'm wasting my time. I might as well go play around on the internet or something, right? So, at the end of the video, he says basically, turn off your TV, get on your computer, get on the internet, start waking yourself up, start finding the truth. Do it yourself. Don't just stand there and let something come to you and expect, well, it's the news, it's the TV, so I can trust it. No way. You have to do it yourself. You have to. And I learned how to create a database when I knew nothing about databases a few years ago. Because I wanted to take my company, right, the kind of guy I am, I'm not going to sit there and soak up a paycheck, which I do get a pretty nice salary. And in my mind, I don't do a lot. It's not every day that computers are breaking, printer needs repair, this and that, because I got this place on lockdown. I got things in place to minimize that, you know, just my way of thinking of outside the box and in advance. I want to make sure if that goes down, I can have it up like that. You know, what can I do to make that happen, that kind of thing. But at the same time, they may notice old Joe back there's not doing too much. But hey, your company's running fantastic, right? Yes. So anyways, I learned how to do this on the internet. Create a database application. I made an application that runs the entire company operation from start to finish, from nothing to everything, all the way out. Sales, service, support, leads, notes, you name it, all kinds of stuff. I used the internet and I had to search for a little while to find something. Oh, YouTube video, how to do this and that. If you enjoyed these first free lessons, we offer the first, you know, bozo level and then the intermediate level for 150 bucks. I'm going to buy this myself, and I'm not even going to tell my boss that I'm doing this. I'm just going to buy it myself and start playing with it. And as soon as I start playing with it, if I think I'm capable of making what I know my company needs instead of using spreadsheets and Word docs, you know, all over the place that you can't really track, then I'm going to ask them, would you mind paying me back since it's for the company? And it is, ended up being so. I absolutely was positive I could do this. They gladly, you know, were like more than willing. Of course we'll pay you back, like you idiot. Yes, we'll pay you back if you're going to build an application for the company. Are you stupid? Well, I just want to throw that out there. So you do have to find the information on the internet. You do have to do some legwork. You're going to find garbage on the internet. But thankfully, you found people like me, Pastor Dowell, a few others out there who are able to weed through all the crap for you. And we're actually doing what the news should be doing. Where you turn on Fox News or CNN, it's on the news, dude. Come on, you know it happened. You know it's real. You know it's this. You just have that trust. That's what they do. It's what their job is, to expose government corruption, to expose lies, to expose this and that. When you find that they cover it up more than anything, at least at the high government levels. So now you see the people like me can do that legwork for you. You'll know in the future. I've been following this guy for a year. I already know what he said is true. I already know that this claim he made is probably going to be true too. And I don't have to really spend, you know, hours researching it myself because I trust this guy. You do have to build the trust relationship. So if you find some information and you stick with it, it appears to be true, ends up being true, you now put that under your little box of, hey, I'm going to go pay attention to this guy in the future again because he was right about this. You know, Lindsey Williams, the Webbot, a lot of Alex Jones stuff. That guy's waking people up too. You know, some people hate Alex Jones and I disagree. So anyways, that's all I got. I gotta go. Hope this video helped and contributed to Pastor Dowell's. Definitely a subject I can talk about, as you can see. And that's all I got right now. Take care.